That music was called Fanfare for the Common Man. I like to think of it as fanfare for we the people, because that's what it's all about today, we the people. The problems we're facing, who's going to solve those problems, and where do we get the answers? I'm going to give you a quote from a famous, powerful world leader of times past. See if these words don't sound familiar. Laws, just and unjust, may govern men's actions. Tyrannies may restrain or regulate their words. The machinery of propaganda may pack their minds with falsehood and deny them truth for many generations of time. But the soul of man, thus held in trance, or frozen in a long night, can be awakened by a spark coming from God knows where, and in a moment, the whole structure of lies and oppression is on trial for its life. Those are the words of Winston Churchill, who back in 1949 was telling what it was like when European socialism swept across Spain, Germany, and Italy. And don't some of those words sound familiar today? Unjust laws. Laws that tell the property owner he can do nothing about a mosquito-infested bog in his own backyard because some endangered slug may live down in the muck. Or unjust tax laws that require a business owner to pay taxes on income he hasn't even received yet or earned, sending money to the government that he could use to help build his business and create jobs. Tyrannies of political correctness that say we can no longer use the word terrorist, or even in our schools use the word teenager to describe our children. The machinery of propaganda, packing our minds with falsehood and denying our children truth in schools, rewriting history to fit their political agenda. So what are we to do? Well, what did our parents teach us to do? Mine taught me, when confronted with a problem, to step up and take it on, confront it back. That's what our founding fathers did. They took on the whole British Empire and King George himself. We need to awaken the soul of man. We need people who are passionate about this country to get involved and do something about the problems. So how do we do this? Well, it's already started. Back on April 15th of this year, we had tea parties. I spoke at the one in Burke County. I talked about business taxes and said, if you haven't been in small business, you don't know taxes. And then I went on and talked, and towards the end, I asked people to engage the process, to step up and get involved, because so much history took place after the 1773 tea parties, and that so much history was going to happen after our April 15th tea parties. And I was right. Hundreds of tea parties happened across the country. We had the town hall revolts, where for the first time, our elected representatives were actually held accountable for what they're doing in Washington or what they're not doing. And we had the 9/12 March on Washington, where over 1 million patriots showed up to protest the nationalization of our healthcare system. Well, as I was leaving the April 15th tea parties of this year, driving home, I got to thinking and realized that something more needed to happen. We couldn't just continue to complain and protest. We needed to take action. We needed leaders to step forward, problem solvers, who knew what to do in solving problems. Problem solvers. Now, who do you know that knows how to solve a problem? Well, you do. You have to. Every day, living in the real world, you're confronted with problems. You're trying to put shelter over your family's head, food on the table, provide a good education for your children. Problems every day that you're confronted with, and you can't kick them down the road like our professional politicians in Washington do. You need to solve them. So who am I to be saying all this? Well, my name is Vance. I'm a neighbor of yours from Burke County. I'm a father of 4, married 35 years. I'm a Christian, a Sunday school teacher, a student of the Bible, and a Salvation Army bell ringer. I'm a biker, a boarder, a black belt, and a weightlifter. I'm an economist, a financial analyst, an inventor, and an experienced negotiator. I'm a small businessman, which makes me of the group that is going to create over 75% of the new jobs here in America. We've done it before and we'll do it again. I'm also of the group that is the most feared and respected in the global economy. I am an American entrepreneur. I'm a conservative, both social and fiscal. I'm a lifelong Republican, student of the Constitution, student of our founding fathers, and a gun owner since I was 6 years old. And I'm running for Congress here in the 10th District of Western North Carolina. Now, some of you may have noticed I'm standing on a stump. Not long ago, I was practicing this speech in front of my little sister, and when I got done, she said, "Vance, I really like what you're saying, and I like how you said it, but I kept wondering, why is he standing on a stump?" And I realized that not everybody knows the history of stump speeches. Well, stump speeches were used back in the early 1800s. When somebody wanted to run for office, they would travel the countryside, just like I'm doing. They would get a gathering of people together, like we've got here. They'd step up on a stump and have their speech. Now, knowing there probably wouldn't be a stump here on these courthouse lawn, I decided to bring my own. And you can see that on the front of this stump, there's 3 words. This is my credo. And I will stand on this credo throughout the campaign and as I work for you in Washington. First word of this credo is wisdom, something we have far too little of in Washington right now. Wisdom is made up of knowledge, experience, and common sense. Common sense says if 40 million people believe in a dumb idea, it's still a dumb idea. And we have way too many dumb ideas coming out of Washington these days. The second word is fairness. Fairness is so important because rule by the majority, strictly for the majority, can be tyranny to the minorities. Once we make a decision that's best for our country and we move forward with this decision, we need to try to be fair to all involved because everybody lives here in America. They've got families. They're trying to educate their kids. They're trying to do what's right for their families. So we need to try to be fair to everybody as we move this country forward. The last word is strength. Strength is the most important because without strength, the other two don't matter.